I mean, I have to say, it's divided opinion, hasn't it, this energy strategy today? Lots of criticism that it didn't address pretty much anything in the immediate. It was all focused on medium to long term.
Yeah, that was certainly the criticism, Michelle, from the Labour Party, who said it was too little, too late. But to be fair to the government, they insist this is a long-term strategy. Their argument is, if anything, this war with Russia and Ukraine has shown that we are too dependent on energy resources outside of these islands, and we need to look, at least in the coming years, about how we make ourselves more energy independent from the rest of the world. However, is that going to solve the problems that people are facing right now with massively increased energy bills this month? An expectation the same will happen in October. No, it will not. But in the end, the government would argue, will set the UK on a more even keel in the future with the introduction of these 8 new nuclear power plants that are being talked about in different parts of the countries. But that won't happen until potentially the start of the next decade. Also more offshore wind farms as well. Again, that could be done pretty quickly, but it all depends on planning permission. Also talk about using hydrogen, solar power. I think more interestingly, there's talk about trying to extract more oil and gas from the North Sea, which Britain could do pretty quickly if there was the right investment to do so. When I say quickly, it's not going to be months, but certainly could be done within years. Also interestingly today, Michelle, was what was not included in the energy document, and that was fracking. In fact, there was hardly any mention of it at all. A sign, I think, that the government is still pretty lukewarm towards that, as they are as well with onshore wind farms, i.e. wind turbines on land in people's fields. The government clearly feel that's still not particularly popular with many people up and down the country. So in the short term, this is going to make very little difference, if any at all. But many would at least argue, at least the government are starting to consider where our energy is going to come from in the years and decades to come.